I am working on a mobile deployment strategy, development strategy for the EERE programs. So as pertains to the conference we're here today just talking about, I look across the programs within energy efficiency and renewable energy and working in conjunction, in concert with those programs, trying to figure out ways to leverage the brilliance that they produce hour by hour and put it in the hands of the people that use it. So in my world, I have an Android, a BlackBerry, an iPhone, and a couple of tablets. So I want people to understand that if you're going to build something in your program, solar, hydro, whatever, think about the opportunity to deploy that, whatever it is, to the hand, where they are, not necessarily at their desktop. And not everything's appropriate for that, I understand that. But I'm trying to convince people, cajole them, re-educate them, genetically re-encode them to understand that you're building to deploy your content with a very large, bold capital C to the person where and when they are. And if it's a research scientist in the field, and he's got a big tablet, he's able to do something there. If it's an energy management at a federal facility and he's going to look and do a boiler assessment, why not? These are incredibly powerful sensor devices. I can do an awful lot with any of my devices. I can take imagery. I can get on the roof of my house, lay this on the roof of my house. It knows where I am, knows when I am, knows the season I am, because it can intersect climate. It can look at a solar resource map, tell me what the solar generating potential is for my roof at that incline. And it would even know how fast I fall off the roof, because it's got an accelerometer. And when I hit the ground, it can probably call 911 for me and have the ambulance come get me. This is what they need to be developing for. Not necessarily always a phone, not everything's appropriate for that, but the point is I want them to think that way, to think distribution of content. So that's one thing we're doing. So I mean, we're looking at building geothermal mobile apps, and I don't think mobile apps is always for phone in my world, use it generically. We're building geothermal, solar, looking for water, federal energy management program, buildings, advanced manufacturing, vehicles, even generic apps, just to do publication lookup, Federal Register lookup. Wow, potential to put tools. I want to build mobile apps that do something valuable for people, not just energize a conversation. Not that doesn't have value, but I want to build tools that have high utility. Alternately, there are projects that I'm working on that are looking closely at building tools, visualization tools, visual aids, data collection aids for localized policy decision making as it regards to the intersection of climate and energy. Understanding if you're a local policymaker, and for the moment let's define local as state, to make you smart, to enable you to look at, I could make this policy change in my local arena at my state, and this could be the generation change in terms of power generation and the potential output, and this is what my total power generation mix might look like. Very interesting to me. Developing something that is consumable by a non-subject matter expert. I'm a policy person. You're going to be broad necessarily. You might be an energy policy person, but I want to make it possible for you to do this, to make you smart enough to ask more questions, and then potentially use that as a tool that would drive you to one of our energy labs, whether it's Pacific Northwest Labs, NREL, San Diego, Oak Ridge, whatever, to find deeper solutions. I want to go do a full-scale model of something. So we're looking at that. There's a national geothermal data system that's being built, and it is a sub-internet nodal deployment for federating geothermal data sets, all the way from hand-drawn well logs to seismicity data, that it would enable a researcher, this is clearly a researcher-intensive thing, at their desktop in a lab, to pull data sets from across the verse anywhere, and to be able to leverage those inside an application. Potentially the application they're using comes from yet another node. So they may get data from 40 nodes, and the application comes from 41st node, and I'm doing it at my desktop in Oak Ridge or wherever I am. So we're looking to build that, and that's been underway for some while. There's another project called the National Training and Education Resource, which is yet another sub-intranet nodal development built entirely open source that delivers a learning management system a content management system, and a commercial grade 3D development gaming engine. So someone can go in, deploy this at their university, the full package, and build experiential learning capabilities that engage a consuming audience, whatever that audience is, whether it's college-age students or someone else, in such a manner as to really accelerate their ability to learn that topic. So imagine, if you will, you are an energy assessment person and you're new to the career and you want to learn how to do the blower door test. And this thing, you can literally walk into a virtual house and have to turn off the gas, have to close the flue, clean out the fireplace, seal the doors and windows, and then put the blower door on, etc. Well, this literally runs you through it like you are walking through a game. I want that. I want that for every subject matter. You could model a wind turbine and look at computational fluid dynamics across the wind turbine and understand what that means and educate people in an experiential way. The system is entirely free. Anybody in market today can connect with the Department of Energy and we'll figure out a way to deploy it on your node. You can federate it to the larger system. It has a crowdsourcing ability. So again, you can pull educational content from across the network, the ecosystem that's been built, or you can wall yourself off and keep it all local. That's fine. You can let some out, but not all others. All those parameters, or those virtual firewalls, so to speak, are in place. It just enables people to say, okay, today I'm in the bubble test space and essay question, but I want to go to the experiential learning place. And how do I get there? How do I build content to do this? Well, the system's designed to train you how to do that. It's a training thing anyways. It'll teach you how to do that. How to go from the standardized testing model of bubbles and number 2 pencils to I'm going to play World of Warcraft and I'm going to figure out how to install a solar panel in my house. Why not? Because I certainly learn that way. My son learns that way. My father does not. He learns in bubble tests. Okay, this thing does bubble tests. I think that's, those are the larger scale projects we're working on. There's many, many others that are there, and then we get really into the tactics and the weeds. But in a larger sense, those are what we're working on.